So, I finally got the Pimax Crystal Super in my hands. I've actually been testing it for a few months now, and in this video we're going to take a proper deep dive together, lining up the pros and cons side by side. Hey everyone, I'm Stefan, your VR accomplice, or as some of you might know me from my German channel, der VR-Komplize. Let's get started. Before we jump in, just a quick clarification. I borrowed the Crystal Super directly from Pimax after reaching out to them myself. There is a formal review agreement in place, and I just want to be fully transparent about that. The important thing is, I'm completely free to share my own honest opinion, and that's exactly what I'll do. My only obligation is to make a video about the headset, which I wanted to do anyway. Pimax also asked that if I run into any issues, I should let them know, so they can comment or help investigate. That's totally fair to me. Just good etiquette when you're working together. So, what exactly is the Pimax Crystal Super? It's a classic PCVR headset, meaning you'll need a capable gaming PC, and the included 4.5 meter cable to hook it up. This version uses 50 ppd QLED panels with a mini LED backlight, delivering a massive 3840 by 3840 pixels per eye. Thanks to that mini LED tech, you get local dimming, or as Pimax calls it, local dimming 2.0. That means deeper blacks, better contrast, and a picture that comes surprisingly close to OLED performance. The image goes through spheric glass lenses, giving you high clarity and a nice wide sweet spot. Now, speaking of OLED, Pimax did something pretty bold here. When they first announced the Super, I honestly wasn't sure they'd follow through, but they did. The optical module is swappable. You can switch between the 50 ppd QLED, the 57 ppd QLED, the Ultrawide, or even the Micro-OLED version. In total, 4 optical modules, each with its own strength. My guess, most people will probably go for one of the QLED versions or maybe the OLED one, depending on their priorities. For this review, I've been using the 50 ppd version. Refresh rate 72 or 90 Hz, Pimax claims up to 127 degrees horizontal field of view, but of course FOV is personal. Head shape, face geometry, eye position, they all play a role. Later in the video I'll show my own measured FOV numbers. There's eye tracking, which enables foveated rendering. The area you're looking at gets rendered in full detail, saving GPU power. And as a nice bonus, it automatically adjusts your IPD, so the lenses move to match your interpupillary distance. Difficult word for me. Audio-wise, you've got swappable on-ear speakers and 2 built-in mics. I'll talk more about that later. There's also a 3.5mm jack if you prefer your own headphones. Right now, it ships with inside-out tracking like the Meta Quest and includes matching controllers. If you prefer Lighthouse tracking, a compatible faceplate is already in the works. And finally, Pimax lists both minimum and recommended PC requirements on their website, so you know exactly what kind of rig you'll need. Alright, let's see what actually shows up at your door. Here's the box of the Crystal Super, clean design, sturdy packaging, and everything nicely organized inside. So, what do we see first? We start off with an inspection document that comes in the box. It shows exactly when and by whom the headset was tested and whether all the tests were passed. Next up, there's an additional top strap included. This one's a bit different from the Comfort top strap you can buy separately on the Pimax website. My unit also came with the DMAS headphones, but the asthma speakers are already pre-installed on the headset. And here it is. The headset itself, the Pimax Crystal Super, already fully wired and ready to go. Of course, the controllers are included as well. They are the same simple controllers that came with the original Crystal and the Crystal Lite. Underneath the headset, we find USB-C cables for charging the controllers. There's also a power adapter, several plug adapters, and the end of the pre-installed cable that connects to your PC. At first glance, that cable feels a bit thicker than the fiber optic cable I used with the Crystal OG. But what stands out right away, there's no external breakout box anymore. Everything now runs directly through this small inline module. The aspheric glass lenses are also protected, and there's a clear warning not to expose them to direct sunlight. That's something you should definitely take seriously, because it can easily damage the displays inside. Everything's tidy, straightforward, nothing flashy, but everything you need to get started. Now about weight. Weighing the headset can be tricky because the cable pushes down on the scale. The link cable is detachable, but I kept it connected to reflect how it's normally used. I'd estimate roughly 960 grams in its standard setup. That's not exact, but close enough. Add the dimmer speakers and comfort strap, and yeah, you get a few more grams, but that doesn't really hurt comfort. If anything, a top strap helps distribute pressure more evenly. Let's talk comfort. Yeah, the Super is on the heavy side. That's true for the original Crystal and even the Crystal Lite. The good news is you can wear glasses inside. The glass lenses are tougher than plastic pancake lenses, so if your frames touch them, it's usually fine. Still, if you wear glasses regularly, I'd recommend prescription inserts, safer and more comfortable. Pimax sent me an alternative top strap. More of a halo-style fit that presses on your forehead. Personally, I find it more comfortable overall. The downside, it doesn't feel super premium, and it interferes a little with the face pad. Not a deal breaker, but it could be improved. My personal favorite is still the Comfort top strap from the Pimax store. It's not a halo design, but the materials are better, it's more flexible, and overall, it just feels more balanced. Of course, comfort is subjective, and if you really want to fine-tune it, I highly recommend StudioForm Creative. They make great pads and counterweights that can make the Crystal genuinely comfortable for long sessions. I've linked them in the description below. Now for the part that really matters, the image and optics. The version I've been testing is the 50 ppd module, sometimes called the medium FOV option. I've looked through a Crystal Super before, and that first impression still holds. The image is insanely sharp. No screen door effect whatsoever. It's bright, it's clear, and my first reaction to the FOV was basically, wow, that's huge. To back that up, I ran some FOV measurements. One tool gave me 124 degrees horizontal and 100 degrees vertical, very close to Pimax official numbers. Another test tool, the one I use for the Quest 3, actually measured a slightly larger vertical FOV on the Super. Stereo overlap came in around 70% versus 73% on the Quest 3. So yeah, the Quest has a touch more overlap, but a smaller overall field of view. Next I did some glare tests, bright objects on dark backgrounds. You can't see it through my camera, but trust me, the QLED panels and lenses look fantastic. Very little glare, just a tiny bit of chromatic aberrations on the far edges. In real gameplay, I don't notice it at all. And since Pimax can tweak lens profiles in software, there's room for even cleaner edges in the future. The sweet spot is large and easy to hit every single time. Then I moved on to some games, Aircar and Kayak Mirage. In Aircar, punchy colors, excellent contrast, and one thing really stood out, the eye tracking. Raindrops were rendered only where I was looking. In the periphery, they weren't rendered at all. Didn't even notice while playing, only later in editing, which shows how effective foveated rendering actually is. In Kayak Mirage's cave section, black levels look great. Local dimming 2.0 really shines there. A clear step up from the first Crystal. Then in Star Wars Squadrons, again, deep blacks, great contrast, and of course I had to try Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Did a short hop over New York, image was bright, razor sharp, cockpit instruments crisp and easy to read, even at a glance. For anyone wondering, my settings: VR graphics, Ultra, DLSS 4, Ultra Performance. Alright, controllers and tracking. The controllers are basically the same as on the original Crystal. Still with those big tracking rings, they are starting to look a bit old school, since most new controllers are ringless now. Build quality is fine, not super premium, but they hold up well. I've been using these for years with the old Crystal and they still work perfectly. So yeah, they've passed the long-term test. They charge via USB-C, use internal batteries, and have basic haptic feedback, not super strong. Headset tracking itself is stable and reliable, great if you mainly play Sims. Controller tracking has improved a lot through software updates. Early on, I honestly wouldn't have used them for shooters. Aiming down sights used to break tracking, but today it's fine. Aiming works as it should. If you are playing competitively, I'd still go Lighthouse or Meta for top precision. But for everyday gaming, it's totally fine. Even Beat Saber plays smoothly now, unless you are chasing world records, you'll have no issues. So yeah, for Sims and most games, controller tracking on the Super is fine. Let's talk audio. The Crystal Super comes with the ESMA speakers by default, and honestly, they sound kinda thin and tinny, not much bass. If your bundle includes the DIMA speakers, definitely swap them in. That gives you a fuller, more dynamic sound with a bit of punch in the low end. The headset also has 2 built-in microphones. They are fine, good enough for in-game chat or casual use. Obviously not for voiceovers, but they are not meant for that anyway.
Check, check, Test, Test, 1, 2, 3. Das ist das Mikrofon der Pimax Crystal Super.
So overall, if sound matters to you, get the DIMA's option, it's a clear upgrade. Now handling and software. Since the headset is modular, you can swap the optical module pretty easily. Press the 2 clips underneath, slide it out and slide the new one in until it clicks. Simple. The link cable is 4.5 meters long, thick and not super flexible, so I recommend using an overhead cable system for more freedom of movement. Inside Pimax Play you can adjust pretty much everything. Firmware updates, refresh rate, brightness, LED color, eye tracking. You can even fine-tune horizontal and vertical IPD offset manually. There is also a small Pimax store built-in, but honestly most games are on SteamVR too. Usually at the same price, so right now the store feels a bit redundant. Setup is straightforward. Pimax Play walks you through all the steps and checks your ports automatically. There is even a virtual desktop style feature where you can pin PC windows inside a virtual environment. It works okay, though honestly virtual desktop on standalone headset still does that better. What works really well though is the PC connection itself. Once everything's set up, the headset powers on quickly and connects reliable every time. What doesn't work well is room setup memory. It just refuses to remember my room boundaries. I have to redo them every single time, and that's been an issue for a while. Pimax, please fix this one. Let's talk price. The Pimax Crystal Super costs around 1,588 on the official side. You can also split it about 726 upfront and 826 later. There's a 14-day return policy, so you get a small safety window to test it out. Earlier this year, production got delayed because of a new QA process, so pre-orders had to wait longer. That was frustrating, but according to Pimax, production is now ramping up, so shipping times should improve. If you're thinking about ordering, definitely check their site for the most up-to-date delivery info. It depends on your region and your bundle. Alright, let's wrap it up. Overall, the Pimax Crystal Super is a very good headset, defined by its exceptionally sharp image and wide field of view. There's almost no glare, not much Mura for me, and just a tiny bit of color fringing at the edges. Nothing that distracts during gameplay. Comfort, though, it's still mixed. Out of the box it's not great, the included top strap doesn't really help, and the optional Halo strap isn't my favorite either. But the good thing is, there are fixes. The Comfort top strap or the Apache strap both improve balance a lot. Small counterweights on the back help too. Audio, ESMA speakers are just okay, DIMAs are much better. Built-in mix sounds clearer now after updates, perfectly fine for normal use. Tracking, headset tracking is solid, controller tracking has improved a lot. Still not quite meta level, but good enough for most players. Software, Pimax Play works well. Overall, the headset connects fast, setup's easy, but that missing room memory still drives me crazy. So, who's this for? It's for PCVR enthusiasts who want the best possible image quality, have a powerful gaming PC and don't mind a bit of tweaking to get everything dialed in. If you want something cheaper, the Crystal Lite is a solid alternative. Not as capable, but still impressive for the price. If you are thinking about ordering a Crystal, you can use my affiliate link in the description. And with my code, you'll get a small discount. That helps support the channel, but of course only if you genuinely want the headset. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the Crystal Super? Or what's been your experience so far? Drop a comment or just an emoji for the algorithm. If this video was helpful, please leave a like or hype it. And don't forget to subscribe, so I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Tschüss.